over 350 fragrances, and I own a fragrance brand now, and I have the top talked about fragrances all over the internet that I'm gonna give you my blunt opinion on whether I think they're worth the hype or not. Okay, first one I have is Glossier You, and this is just a great musky fragrance. I actually really like this one because it's a little bit powdery. It has iris and musk in this. This is my go-to one that I wear before bed because it's very soft, it's not overpowering. It smells like you, but better, and I know that's why they called it You. I think it's just brilliant. The bottle is pretty simple and sleek, so if I had to give this a rating between 1 and 10, I would actually give this a 9. I think it's definitely worth checking out of the popular fragrances. Next one we have is a classic too, and it's Dolce & Gabbana L'Imperatrice, and this is just it's a freshie. This is a great, slightly sweet, a little bit fresh. To me, I pick up a little bit of watermelon in there. I didn't check the notes to see if it's in there. It's just a very light, refreshing scent. To me, out of all of the fragrances I find at Ulta, Sephora, even though this is very crowd pleasing and isn't talked about quite as much now as it was years ago, I do think it's worth checking out. I do think it's a great fragrance in that it's a little bit unique. It's still very wearable. It's crowd pleasing. Everyone can wear it. This is what I wear when I get out of the shower or during the spring and summer, and I want something just light, and I call it my grab and go. If I'm running errands, I just want to throw something on and just smell pretty and fresh. This is the one I go to. Out of a rating of 1 to 10, I would give this one an 8, so still pretty good. Next one we have is Burberry Her, and this one I hear all the time. Anytime someone does a TikTok video, give me your favorite perfume, I swear at the top it's always Burberry Her. Okay, I do like this. I do think it's pretty. It's a very sweet, fruity, floral fragrance. Is there anything special about this? In my opinion, no. It's a bunch of berries, jasmine, some musk, a little bit of cashmere in there. So all of those notes I find in a lot of other fragrances. So in my personal opinion, I don't think it's as unique, even though it's a well-loved fragrance. It is a crowd pleaser, but I don't find anything about it that stands out in my mind. Now the intense version that I don't think they sell anymore, I don't know why they got rid of that. That one I think was a little bit better, but just the general Burberry Her, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't rebuy this one. I just don't think it's worth the money for how just generic and safe it is. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this one a 5. Don't hate me all, it's just my personal opinion. Next one we have is YSL Libre Intense. This is such a gorgeous fragrance. You guys know I talk about this one all the time. Now YSL Libre, just the original, is pretty good, but the Intense, that's the one that is worth getting. It has vanilla in there, some white florals, a hint of citrus, but what makes it unique is it has a touch of lavender in there just to kind of mix it up and make it a bit interesting. It's a very sexy date night fragrance. This is my go-to when I have business meetings, going out on a date. I want to feel very confident and sexy. This is the one that I pull out. I think it's a gorgeous fragrance. I love the bottle. They spent a lot of attention to detail doing the custom logo here, even the braided ribbon here. Everything about the bottle design, the juice inside, I feel like is great quality. This to me smells like a very high-end niche fragrance that would be like a $300 fragrance. So in my opinion, I think this is worth every dime. If I had to give it a rating of 1 to 10 for this one, I would give it a 10. It's definitely worth having in your collection. Next we have is Kayali Vanilla 28. Everyone has her in her collection. It is a beautiful vanilla, no doubt. And I do love the packaging. I think there's something simplistic, very elegant and chic about the bottle. Do I think this is the best vanilla I've ever smelled? No, but I end up wearing this one a lot. I like to layer it with other fragrances. I think that's usually the best way that I personally wear it. It's sweet, it's vanilla, it's just to the point. There's nothing extravagant, there's nothing super unique about it, but I do think it's just a very well-rounded vanilla. So if you love vanillas like me, it's my favorite note. I think it is worth having in your collection. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this one an 8. Okay, let's do an expensive one, but one that still everyone talks about, and that is Parfums de Marlene Delina. This is a gorgeous, tart, creamy floral that's sweet. It has rhubarb in there, it has some rose. It's very just tart, creamy, dense floral. It is beautiful, and there's several flankers of this one. My favorite is Delina La Rose because it's a little bit lighter, fresher, but a lot of people like Delina Exclusive because it's a bit more dense version. But the classic Delina is absolutely beautiful. I think it's a phenomenal fragrance. The brand as a whole, Parfums de Marlene, is worth the price tag in my opinion because they use a high concentration of natural raw materials versus synthetic. I'll do education on that later for you guys if you want to know about it, but I know for sure that the quality of the juice inside is worth the price tag, and I think they did a great job on such beautiful, unique packaging. So in my opinion, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is a 10 for me. Now let's go to an OG classic that people still talk about, maybe not as much on TikTok, but general people still talk about this fragrance, and it is Chanel Chance Eau Tendre. That's the pink one here. It's a classic, you guys. I've had this bottle, as you can tell by how much I've used, I've had this for a long time, and years later, it still smells great. It's a very light, fresh, elegant floral. If you love florals and you want something not too heavy, not too dense, it's a great everyday fragrance. Very crowd pleasing. There's very few people I've smelled this on that it doesn't smell absolutely amazing. I think it is a great creation. Personally, out of the Chanel line, Chanel is not my favorite fragrance brand as a whole because it has a lot of aldehydes in it. They can smell very soapy, very waxy. But this one in particular stands out because it doesn't have a lot of aldehydes in it. It's just very wearable. So in my opinion, I think it's worth having in your collection if you like that type of fresh floral style. I know it's been around a long time, so it's not hip and popular, but again, a lot of people have this in their collection. I still think it's worth purchasing. It's a great fragrance. But my rating from scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this one an 8. Next, we have a Kilian one, and this is Kilian Love Don't Be Shy. This is a very sweet gourmand. There's raspberry in there, there's marshmallow. I think there's some cotton candy. This is a very, very sweet decadent fragrance. If you love very sweet, fruity, candy-like fragrances, it is really beautiful. When this first came out, there wasn't any fragrances like it at the time, so I do think it's very unique. Is it for everyone? No, because it's really sweet and really dense, you all. I do think that the packaging is really pretty with the embroidery on the side. It's very sleek. Like, I really do love their bottles. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. The price point is a little bit high for what you get, so that's my only downside to that, is I think for the quality, for the price comparison, it could be maybe just a little bit less expensive, but still a great fragrance. So I'm gonna give this one a rating of a 7. Next we have is Versace Crystal Noir. I know everyone talks about all the other Versace's like Crystal, there's like the pink one, the yellow one. I'm talking about this brown one here, Crystal Noir. It is a gorgeous fragrance, you all. If you have not tried this, go try it. I think it's a bit unique compared to the other fragrances I find at Ulta and Sephora. It has coconut in there, some gardenia, a little bit of ginger, cardamom. It is a beautiful tropical fragrance, but with a little bit of sexiness in there with that hint of pepper. It's a great date night fragrance or great every day during the summer because it has that coconut in there. It's not a cheap synthetic smelling coconut. There's just enough to give it that kind of tropical vibe, make it interesting, but still very sexy. It is a gorgeous fragrance. Probably out of all the signature designer fragrances out there, this is one of my favorite ones. So for me, I'm gonna give this a rating of a 9. Now we're gonna swing over to a high-end one, which is Baccarat Rouge. Everyone knows her, everyone has her or a dupe of it in their collection. This is iconic for a reason. It is the first fragrance that had such a high dose of ambroxan in there. It's very fresh, woody, a little bit sweet in there. I have the extrait, so it has a hint of almond in there, but all of the versions of the Baccarat Rouge are absolutely stunning. It is a phenomenal formula. In my opinion, this is the Chanel number 5 of our time. It is that iconic and that classic. Now I know everyone's getting kind of tired of hearing it, smelling it, because everyone has it, but that shouldn't take away the fact that this is a phenomenal fragrance that was very much ahead of its time. That's why there's so many dupes of it. So in my opinion, I personally would spend the money getting the original. I've smelt some dupes that are pretty good, but this is extremely long lasting, high quality juice, beautiful packaging. I love everything about this. So it is a keeper in my opinion. On a rating of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this a 10. Next we have is YSL Opium, and there are so many flankers, you guys. The flanker that I have is the illicit green one. It's the only one that I could kind of tolerate a little bit. Do I think the YSL Opium line is horrible? No, but in my opinion, they just smell very synthetic, if I'm going to be honest. And I think that because I've done fragrance training now, my nose is a little bit more sensitive in picking up which fragrances actually have natural raw materials versus just a ton of synthetics. And these to me always just smell synthetic. I'll even show you guys, literally in my drawers right here, I have a bunch of raw materials, all these little containers of all like specific raw materials that I spent months training you guys. So when I smell something like this, does it smell bad? No, it just smells very synthetic. It doesn't smell like something natural, fresh, or anything like that. It's very strong. It chokes me out a little bit. So my personal opinion, it's not my favorite. Do I think it's a horrible fragrance? No. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this about, I'm gonna give it a 4, you guys. I'm sorry, I give it a 4. If you guys like it, great. I'm not bashing anyone's personal taste of fragrances. I just think there's other fragrances out there that you can find that are a bit more special and unique and don't smell so synthetic. Next, we have one that everyone on TikTok is talking about, and that's Burberry Goddess. I finally got my hands on it, you guys. I kind of waited for a bit because I was like, usually when everyone talks about it, it's just a very like crowd-pleasing fragrances, and I personally like ones that are a bit more unique. That's just me, you guys. But this is really good. I have to admit, it's hyped up for a reason. This one has vanilla, a little bit of cacao in there, and it has a hint of lavender. So in my opinion, it kind of gives me the same vibe as YSL Libre, but not so intense or strong. It's like a more wearable everyday everyday version of it, but it gives me that vibe with the vanilla hint of lavender in there. It is really beautiful. It's fresh. I like that hint of lavender, and I'm not usually a huge lavender fan, but it makes it interesting. So it's not just a boring vanilla with some cacao in there. That lavender really spices it up in kind of a unique way. So I love this one. I think it's hyped up for great reason. I would give this a solid 9 rating on this one. I think it's worth having in your collection. Next we have is Replica by the Fireplace. Anyone who's watched my channel, you know I have thoughts on this one. I am not going to put my personal opinion of this fragrance out there. I'm gonna judge it from a very unbiased thing, because on me personally, I don't like By the Fireplace. It smells like a straight up ashtray on me, but on other people, I have smelt it and it does smell nice. I think this is very unique, especially at that time. It was one of the first fragrances that had that very strong smoky incense to it. It's sweet, it's very smoky. I'm picking up a little bit of amber in there, maybe a little bit of vanilla, but definitely that smoky, like sweet smoky type of vibe. So if you like something that's very dense, sweet, smoky, great for fall and winter, I do think it is a great fragrance. I think they did a good job formulating it. Do I personally love this one? No, I don't. Do I wear it? No. My husband wears it all the time. Look at the dent on that. My husband loves this one, and it's really sexy on him, but on me, straight up cigarette ashtray. I don't know why, you guys. It just doesn't work on me, but is it a great fragrance? Yes. So I'm going to, outside of my personal opinion, I'm going to give this a solid 8. Next we have is Ariana Grande Cloud. Everyone has this in their collection. It has kind of the vibe of Baccarat Rouge, and I think that's why a lot of people like it, because it's definitely a much more affordable version of Baccarat Rouge. It has that very Ambroxan, fresh, slightly woody, clean vibe. It is pretty. It is pretty. Here's my opinion, you guys. It's another one that, in my opinion, smells very synthetic. In my opinion, I feel like they didn't use high quality ingredients. That's just what I'm picking up. So on me, it smells very plasticky. It smells like Barbie plastic feet. I'm sorry, you guys, I have to say it. Is it a crowd pleaser? Does it smell beautiful on a lot of people? Absolutely yes. I just can't get over the plastic vibe, you guys. I don't know why. I'm gonna put it back on my skin again. I've given it so many tries. I really, really want to like this because everyone talks about it. It just smells like a lot of synthetics in there. So I know you guys are gonna hate me for saying this. I'm giving this a 5 because I think they could have chose even just 1 or 2 higher quality natural ingredients to put in there to make it smell a bit more realistic and not so fake plastic synthetic. I said it, you guys. I know you guys are gonna get torches outside my house. I had to keep it real in here. I'm just being blunt. Next fragrance we have is another Kilian one, and this is the Princess one. I'm not gonna go over the whole title. It's a long ass name for this, but this is a really great fragrance. I feel like it's very crowd pleasing, but it's unique in that it has matcha tea in there. You don't come across a lot of fragrances that have tea notes in there. So it's slightly sweet, it's fresh with that green tea, has a hint of marshmallow in there, a little bit of ginger, so it's sweet, little bright, little bit green with that tea note. It is beautiful. I think it's a masterpiece. Out of the Kilian line, I think my personal favorite is this one. I reach for it all the time. So I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this a good 9. I think it's worth having in your collection if you want something that's still sweet, very wearable, well loved, but a bit unique with that matcha tea note in there. Now let's go over a couple Jo Malone fragrances. First one I have is Peony and Blush Suede. This is iconic. I know it's not talked about on TikTok, I don't think right now, but still a lot of people have this in their collection. If you love Peony, you will love this one because it's just very elegant, it's floral, it's light, it's great for every day if you don't want something too heavy or too dense, but it still smells very mature and sophisticated in a good way. It's not vintage, it's a modern take on florals. I think it's absolutely beautiful. If you love a nice floral, not too heavy or dense, I think you would like this one. So in my opinion, I'm gonna give it a good 8. Do I think it's something like out of this world, extraordinary, special, unique? No, but is it a very beautifully formulated fragrance? Absolutely yes. And then the other one that's kind of in the same vibe as that is the English Pear and Sweet Pea. I love sweet pea, you guys. Love sweet pea. But from a quality standpoint, it's beautiful. I think out of the whole Jo Malone line, this one is probably my favorite because it's very elegant and chic. When I wear this, I feel put together. I feel like I should have my Chanel purse going to a nice brunch with someone. It is just elegance in a bottle. Is it extraordinarily unique? No, it's not. But I think that's the beauty of Jo Malone fragrances. If they're more simplified, they're great if you want to layer them or if you want something that's not overpowering or too strong, just wearable for every day. Jo Malone has some great ones. So out of a scale of 1 to 10, I'm actually gonna give this one 9. I think if you like floral fragrances and you want something very elegant, I think it's worth having in your collection. Then we have some Tom Ford fragrances. Tobacco Vanille. This is probably the most iconic. Well, this one in Black Orchid, I should have put that in here, but I didn't. I'll talk about it in a second. Tobacco Vanille is one of the most iconic fragrances that everyone has talked about for years from Tom Ford. It's a sweet with dried fruit notes in there, vanilla with a smoky note, but the smokiness is very slight. It's very, very sexy. My personal favorite is this one from the line. I love it. Every time I wear it, my husband goes crazy. So this is my go-to date night fragrance because it's just sexy in a bottle. It's sweet, little smoky. It's absolutely gorgeous. And of course it has vanilla in there and I love vanilla. So I think it's a beautiful formulation. I know people give Tom Ford a lot of hate because they're so expensive. Do I think it's worth this price tag? I don't. I think this should be a $250 fragrance, not $350. So I think what they're charging is absolutely insane, but is it a gorgeous fragrance? It actually is. So I'm gonna give it, even though I love this one a lot, it's in my top 10, I'm gonna give it an 8 only for the pricing of it because they're charging too much, but I still think it's a great formula. If you love vanilla, I really think you should try this one and have it in your collection because it really is a beautiful one. The next one we have is Soleil Blanc. This is another one that a lot of people talk about. Is it pretty? It absolutely is. It's creamy white florals. It's a great, like a little bit of tropical. I don't know if it has coconut. It does. I just checked. It has coconut in there. That's why I was like, I'm picking up coconut. I couldn't tell if it was coconut or vanilla. It also has some pistachio in there, some cardamom. So it has a lot of interesting, unique things going in there with the pistachio to add a little gourmand facet. It has some cardamom for a hint of spice. So it is a very unique fragrance. It's not my favorite from the line, even though it is really pretty. And I think a lot of people would really enjoy this one. So I'm going to give this one a rating of a 7 because even though it's beautiful, is it like blow me away? Like, do I think of it and dream it all the time? No. Is it worth having in your collection? Maybe, but again, that price point, like they just charge too dang much for the juice that you get inside. Pretty, but over expensive. Then the last one I have is Lancome Idole, and this is a very sweet, fruity floral fragrance. It has bergamot in there, some rose, a little pink pepper, some jasmine, white musk, a little bit of vanilla and cedar. These are all notes that are in every single designer fragrance that exists. Watch, you guys, go to the store next time. Look, it's gonna have bergamot, jasmine, some musk, a little bit of cedarwood, and a hint of vanilla. Those are the 5 key ingredients that I swear is in like 80% of fragrances that you'll find at Sephora and Ulta. So if you guys get bored and you're wondering like why a lot of fragrances smell the same or why you don't like a lot of them, that's why. It's because they're made at the same place. They use a lot of the same raw materials. It's basically a cookie cutter where they just want to find something generic and crowd pleasing. And in the process of making generic crowd pleasing fragrances, there's no uniqueness, there's no nothing, there's no story behind it, there's nothing special about it. And that's what I feel about Idole, you guys. It is just like, it's so boring, you guys. I'm sorry. I know so many people like this one. It's boring. It's predictable and it's way too sweet, you guys. I'm sorry, you guys. I have to be honest and just give this a 3 because there is nothing special about this. There are so many other fragrances on the market that you could buy for the same price point that would be so much better than this one. Okay, you all, let me know in the comments if you agree with my decision on these fragrances or not, and I'll see you next Friday for another Fragrance Friday video.